Hello out there, retro gamers. We're ready for some more coding of our game. I'm gonna have a look at it. It's a worrying session for me, this one. I think we might take a couple of backward steps. It's all part of the learning process. What happened was we ran into a lack of memory size, and we've tried to put too many levels in and we're nowhere near enough. We need a lot more levels. So we have to come up with something, and I've got 3 options and all of them are nasty. So the first option I thought of to deal with the lack of memory space for us would be to come up with a way of loading level 1 only, and then abandoning that space used by level 1 in memory, replacing it with level 2. Then we could use our existing code and everything would work great. Now that's not viable for me because I don't know how to do that. I don't have a single clue, so I'd have to look it up and work on it for ages. I certainly wouldn't want to do it like in a project like this where I'm halfway through it. I'd have to start afresh. I've never even thought about doing that, so that's option 1 out of the window for now. The only other 2 options I've got are reducing the size of my background. Both of them relate to that, and the first way I thought of, which is not the way I'm going to do, would be to scrap having these positional values, only have unique tiles. They would not have attributes because that would be done separately. So that a tile could be the same but still have a different colour. And that was the option I was going to go with. For example, this is just a blank tile. But I thought of a different way, and it means it's the easiest way. I tend to go for the easiest if I can. So what I'm going to go for is, let's load up the game. If you look, ignore the desks, ignore the door, ignore the exit sign, ignore the retro rules. If you look, there's very little there. Now them light blue cyan walls, they are actually needed. We'll need some sort of tile for them if we want to have that kind of background, which we do. Now I created another problem before I went to work, which I've just remembered, is the exit sign. We're going to have to deal with that completely separately. I might try and fix that first. Don't know. But as I say, if we just look, hang on. I'll switch it over to the other view so I can use my mouse over the game. Let's put that there just to make it less distracting. So it's going to be even better when I copy it into GIMP, which I've already done actually. Let's just load that. Actually, it's going to be easier. But the way I thought about it, I did think about, because my tile system isn't robust, and I actually said that when I was making it. Like, you're copying a lot of data there. The better way would be to assign a number to each tile and then have a grid of what tile relates to what. And then when you spit through the array, you just check what tile to produce at that time. And we will do that soon. I was going to do that to solve this problem, but that requires like deleting a large chunk of what we've done. This way I've thought of, we might get away with it, and if not, we'll have to double back. But let me see if I can load up the level in GIMP. Yeah, here it is. Right. I might as well make a new layer so I don't ruin this picture. And we can actually start to tag out which ones. What I don't get is if I put the pixel size to 8, the pencil size, it should fill that whole block, but it doesn't. But anyway, whatever. Put that down so it's transparent, this layer. And I'll go for pink, which we're not using already. Right, so we'll make this black. All of that. Oh, it's not. It's too dark. It's too see-through, and it's not snapping, which is a bugger. Anyway, I can do it like this instead. So all that is not needed. So that's like what half of the level reduced in size already, just by ignoring them. But the beauty of doing this is just because of the way we've done our code, we can just come in and delete those tiles. Then they're not even. It's not even going to affect us because the colours are going to remain the same. So really, we need all of them just to make that wall. And the same goes for that side. But the door, you see, it's going to be convenient for us. Of course, that door isn't there really. Oh. It's meant to have got this exact colour of the background and then popped it there. Right, that'll do. Yeah, so if we actually we do want to be able to just draw the door without the frame, so that when we open it, we can just remove the sprite without having some sort of algorithm to only remove that middle bit. But we could draw the frame as a separate sprite, couldn't we? And we could even go as far as to write in tailor-made code to draw the frame and just skipping past them bytes, which I could easily do. So if that was the case, and then if this was also not there, and we can put a sprite there instead, taking up, all that space. So we don't need anything there. That's all just color attributes other than the door frames. So I'm going to say sod that whole bit actually as well. Again, this is just for... Oh, of course, we've got that line going up the wall. That is actually on that side. That's a pain, isn't it? Whoops. The wrong layer. I still reduced it down massively. Yeah, that's going to work for us. Excuse me. So if I just think about this logically, 0, 1, 2, 3. I know that there's 24, so 20, 23, 22, 21 I want, 0, 1, 2 I want, so 3 to 20 I don't want, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 0, 1, 2, 3 to 20, 7. It's a huge chunk. Of course it's not free. It's going up in twos. Damn, right, okay. Oh. That line has to be on that side as well to do with the colours. So there's only one way around it. And let's go from there to there. So I think it's 4 to 19. Excuse me. Yeah, so that's the only one we want. And then to there, we can delete. Okay. It's a pain, but this is the quickest way I could think to do it. And it's going to reduce the level data down one heck of a lot. Still work. Whoops, did I go too far there? No. Interesting how there's no line on this one. .88. So 80 is the bottom line that I actually have to do. Oh, of course, it might be 70. That could be a problem. No, it's not. I only have to do 4 lots then. I still find that weird how there's no line running down. But this one's empty as well. That's clearly a bit of the wall. From here, you know. I mean, it's empty, isn't it, you know? And I know where somewhere where I've just gone wrong already. I wanted to keep the attributes somewhere really, didn't I? I've got this copied somewhere else. Weird that. Let's just see how that looks. It's not going to like it. We'll see. Oh, I'm going to have to change the length. Damn it. Not that, sorry. Tile count. A nightmare. It's almost enough to make you want to start from scratch, isn't it? It is almost enough to make me want to just take the tiled approach instead. Like with numbered tiles. But I'd have to change the entire level. I wouldn't want to draw it like that. I'd want like a sort of brick that I could just reproduce over and over again. If I was going to do that approach. God, that's how am I going to calculate how many tiles there are? Try and calculate how many I removed. 1, 2. God, this is tricky. 1, 2, 3. Is that right? Nine times 4. Oh, I'm on the programming one now. See how that does in. No good at all. Something's messed up on it. Pretty sure that's the just because I've deleted all them attribute bytes. Damn. Hello, Moz. How you doing, mate? If I just come up with a different way of painting the background as well, I'll test, see if it works at least. Because if not, I'll probably have to scrap a lot of this, come up with a different way. I've got some ideas, but I thought I could just adapt what I had. Oh, it's just a one-time thing, isn't it? Yeah. See if that still ends up in the weird memory. Okay, it's still pretty weird. Most of it's okay. Still, I don't know whether maybe it's worth just starting from scratch on the background. Because what I've got as an idea is... excuse me. Oh, of course, that's why it's not going to work. It has to draw... I've only given it half a tile. Oh no, I didn't actually though. I didn't. I think I actually started from there, yeah. That's what I actually did. Yeah, I think I might have to start from scratch by making the levels just this. We could just... We don't even need... Yeah, you know. If it wasn't for that black line, I could just make it just that down the sides. The rest of it is all colour, isn't it? Gonna have to be. Nice one, thanks man. Jonathan Coldwell is awesome. I've learnt so much from him. I wrote on his... He's got a website, and I wrote him and thanked him for his book because I know he releases it all for free. You know, I got given the book by someone on a forum, but I've seen it like somewhere. It was like pay what you want or something, and he even goes as far as saying is like don't buy don't buy it off me if you can't afford it. That's brilliant. That I just wish I didn't. It's a shame I failed here, but I guess I can just sort it out. You know, we had to hit that problem at some point. I knew it was going to happen, but I did. I thought maybe we could squeeze a couple of levels in with the way we were doing it, and I would have been happy with that. But yeah, the way it is, it's not good enough. It would be okay. That exact way we had it written would be great if you weren't going to like change the screen. We could obviously move the desks around and change desks into vending machines or whatever. But then we needed the hallway. That was the reason that we have to find a way of improving it. Maybe I'll forget about that black line there for now. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Just draw this tiles here. And obviously then. But we'll start off with just this. Because that's we do need all them so that it knows how to paint it. Technically we do need that. We could go down to 8 by 8 tiles, couldn't we? Just start drawing. I'm not sure if that would be quicker or slower. on the processor. It'd be the same on the memory, obviously, except for we wouldn't have to put like them ones in. And perhaps I needed to make the attributes file a separate thing completely. I'm having a long think about it now because obviously I don't want to do it completely wrong again. I want to try and think of like an optimal way, including the color attributes. I think I might have to draw this level all over again to export it differently and work with it in a different way. It's a JPEG. I'm sure I made a ZXP of it. But, oh, no. No. Alright, so let's pretend the floor's not all wobbly. I don't care about that right now. I could sort it out. Done that earlier. It's good enough. How do I want to export it? I mean, I could just do like... We could just... have one... It's almost exactly the same as having a... Oh, what am I doing here? It's almost the same as having a sprite. We could just draw one that exact size. And then another one that size. Demented bricklayer. That's brilliant. I guess there's not too much difference in a small sprite like that. It's hard to get. I think, like you say, it could be one character cell taller, perhaps, if that's easier. I reckon as long as you nail the bald head, it'd be great, you know. I'm just going to delete all that and try and come up with some other way. If I look at the draw background code, draw BG tiles, paint BG, oh that's paint BG tiles. So it's just calling draw tiles. That just wants a position. TJNZ. So that does want, it draws all the tiles, it wants a tile count. And it wants an IX. (16 by 16). Maybe it's time to make them 8 by 8. Only draw one tile at a time. Hang on. Is it not better just to draw them all in one? They're never going to change. So just go forward 3, down a line like we always do, you know. It's pretty simple to do that. I need to find a way of exporting just this 3. Can't remember where that is. What's that? I think you can get it to snap there. That's it. I'm getting the hang of this app. So with our sprites, we actually use line based. I don't see any reason why we can't do the same here. Or does it make it easier with block based? Select and export. Yeah, it looks like it is going to work, that. I'll go for line based with no attributes. Well, let's just make first all pixels followed by all attributes. Yeah, that's right. So these are separate. Bytes per line, 3. Attributes, 1. Oh, hang on. That's the attributes just for that segment, isn't it? Forget that. Don't need it. We'll get all the attributes in 1. Just completely separate them. I don't know why I combined them, really. I think that's an added complication here. Excuse me. So I could either just paste it in there and call it BG class, and then I could have an offset to go to the next bit that I want to draw, but I think I should just call this like BG class top left. You know, we're going to know what that is. That's all that matters. And now every level is going to be the same, to be honest. So BG top left. So the only different one will be if we're in the hallway. We'll have to have one for BG hall. And we'll try and have as little as possible there as well. I mean, I would love to find a way to load levels from the tape so you can just do the first 2 levels and then you have to load the other side of the tape or whatever. That'd be great. But I think that's a long way in the future. That I need to be more knowledgeable about how to load memory, load data at a certain time. You know, I don't even know how to do that. I think I just load it all at once here every time. Anyway, top left. So we're in a right mess here, but can we recover? Let's get rid of that entire thing. I'll comment it out. I've also commented that one, good. Draw tile 16 by 16. Why can't you find it? You git. Now, do I want to go through each? It's not even a tile anyway. I don't know why I did that. Here we've got specific draw desks, but that's only because we've got an array of desks. That's why I ended up doing that. But I could just do tailor-made draw top left. I mean, really, it's draw sprite. We've got something already like for that somewhere. Sprite. It's the same as this, really, isn't it? How many lines is it? I mean, it's 3, so that's 24 by God knows. I think 64. 24 by 64 lines, is it? Yeah. I'm going to make it non-specific so we can use it over and over again. Yeah, look, these already are. It's going to be quite a big one. I'm hoping there's one with already 24 width, but I don't think there is. Now I'm just trying to find the smallest one. That'll do. So copy it. "24 by 64. This is going to be a Goliath, yeah, of a routine. In theory, though, in my head at least, this is going to be one of the quickest ways to draw sprites. Like, if you want one that size, it will only do what is necessary to draw that exact size of sprite. You know what I mean? So in theory, this is worth writing because you're going to want to draw sprites of all sizes, really. I mean, I'm probably well wrong. There's probably a much better way of doing it, but I don't know. I wrote that one method, that routine that drew any size sprite, but it was a little bit inefficient, and it sure did notice. As soon as you put like 6 or 7 sprites on the screen. Well, here I go. I'm going to just trust that that's working because I'm pretty sure it is. Don't think that's needed, but gotta leave it there just in case. So luckily we've only got one more on there, haven't we? Game whip takeaway 2. So that's one complete line. I actually just need that over and over again. 63 more times. Now I only have to change one comment. Should I have made it that one though? Yeah. Right, so I want that to be 63 by the time I'm finished. Crikey. It's easy to make a mistake here if you're not careful. It's crazy to think you need all these lines to draw one sprite, really. I mean, this is only going to happen once anyway, per level. You never need to draw it again. It's annoying. Delete that return before it gets in the way. God. Not even going to bother changing the rest of the comments. It feels crazy, this amount of, like maybe I'm doing something wrong here. I do just nowadays just get home and go straight onto it. I don't put any thought into it beforehand. 20, 30, 40, 50. Alright. Actually 63 is the last one you need, isn't it? That's a super Goliath. Starts there. Let's try and load the game a second, see what happens. Alright, we've still got... I didn't call that, so I don't know how that's all getting... Is that the colours now? How is that getting drawn up there? I thought I got rid of that. Did I compile that? I don't think... I did save it. No, I didn't. That's why. I wish you could... Oh my god, what have I done there? Oh no. Okay, that's good. Level 2. What's it even called now? You top left. Comment all that out for now. In fact, delete it. Delete that as well. Ah, that's good. That's pretty much what I wanted to see. As you see now, we're not drawing the background anymore, so that looks pretty cool. Ah, he's moving even faster. Interestingly. So we just wanted, for now, just draw BG left in level 1. And we're going to use this instead, which doesn't even use IX. Okay, so just BC sprite point at DE position. Of course, it's probably easiest just to do that as well, isn't it? Excuse me. I'd say that's probably the easiest way there. Just hard code in the positions for each segment. Oops. And that want to be the value of that, not the pointer. Let's see if that works. It has worked, but our attributes need to remember that's where it's trying to draw the colour in the wall, and that ink is actually white in the game, and then that is blue, like cyan. But we'll be able to hopefully get our attributes from here, from the whole thing, and just paint the screen separately. Maybe I should do that first. No, I'll repeat what I've just done on the other side and the bottom. Excellent, I'm starting to love that app now. Again, this isn't a perfect way of doing it, and it's very labour intensive for changing anything. I'm sure there's much better ways, and I look forward to finding them out. What did I call it? BG top left, is that what I called it? Yeah, it's BG top right then. For that I'll put the value up here. Now of course the X isn't going to be 0. 21, 2, 23, yeah. It should be that straightforward though. Pretty much copy that. We'll end up making its own little function for this, I guess. Oops. Perfect. So it doesn't look like much, but that's working for us. And now look at the size of the level data. You know, virtually nothing. How many is that, right? I mean, it tells us here, doesn't it? 3 times 64. 190 bytes per segment. We've got loads of space left now. We could probably just do the same with the doors in a minute. But let's get the walls done. Only need that. So yeah, it's funny. I was at work and I was thinking about ways of making the tiled background, you know, so each tile would be a number, and then you tell it what number to be in what cell, and then that way obviously any copied tile would, and then it suddenly came to me that most of this middle screen isn't even needed. So I'm glad that did come to me. It seems to be working. I'm concentrating pretty hard because I really don't want to mess this up. 2 bytes. So again, it's really clunky, but it is going to work for us in it quite nicely. So I'll call this left side, I guess. DG left. I'll put 0 for now anyway. Jump back in here. So of course x is 0. Y appears to be 8. Let's go with 8 and see what it looks like. Ooh. Well, here we get the other one. So I'm veering very far away from my usual style of programming, which is to abstract everything and be as reusable as possible. And I'm really tailoring it to this exact screen now. But it's a new experience. It's going to work. So X, you are 22. And that's 8, I think. Considered using the find and replace there, but it's just needless hassle in it. I think that's going to do it for us. Oh no, it hasn't. It's completely ruined it, whatever it's done. Probably something I've done in that copy paste. Oh, of course. For starters, it's the wrong size of sprite. Don't know why it was seemed to be drawing over this one though, which was a bit weird. So I could either use my existing tiles, but they want block based bytes. Just see how many it is. It started at 8, didn't it? Yeah. 23. Oh, that's clever. Okay. Can't work it out, folks. It starts at 8, let's see that little A number down the bottom left. And goes up to 23, so that means it's actually 15, yeah? Or 16. 16, yeah. If in doubt, just count it. So I actually want like 16 by 16. Got 16 by 24 there. Probably, oh, that's draw player though. It does the ore and all that. Oh god, I'm useless. Yeah, then we just got to add a little bit to that. I'll copy that again. Oh, oh god, it's much more than 24 though, isn't it? It's 23 cells in height. It was 16, wasn't it? 16 cells in height. 128. Jeez. It's only 16 by 128. Alright, here we go. Let's make it. The same way I did it last time is pretty quick. I'll just do, because I'm only changing the comments. Oh, it's a lot to copy paste here. I need it to get to 127. Just can't get around it, you just gotta do it. It really is, man. I'm scared of it. I must be doing something wrong, it feels, to have this much copy paste. Alright, so I've done 10 there. Do chunks of 10. Oh yes, I'm gonna put a big line there so I see it. Whew, I don't know, I feel like I've done something wrong now. It's hard to tell. And Might as well copy the whole 50 in it. The only thing is then all the comments will be complete gobbledygook. But oh, it's not that bad. I'll do it in chunks of 10. I feel like I've missed out one step where this isn't even enough. I keep forgetting the numbers I've done as well. Yeah, 80, 90. 100. 110. Finally, the last batch. So 120. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did I say 127? It's got to be the last one, isn't it? 5, 6, 7. Oh wow, we got to delete that a little bit. Return. Wowza. That's not even it, okay. Here it is. Separate it even more, it's easier to find actually in the long run. Hopefully you don't need to come in and look at these very often anyway. Okay, let's give it a whirl. So the left part is 16128. So is that. And other than that, it looks correct to me. It really does. So I hope it is. Let's have a look. No, it's not. I knew it wasn't going to be. Because I wondered why before it was drawing over the bit we weren't expecting it to. I think I've got it already what it is. I'm doing it in lines. That should be in character cells. Might not fix the problem, but that's what the problem is. Like that's one of the problems. Try that. Oh, it's even worse. Oh dear, I might have to start completely from scratch on this. Write it all from the beginning. Obviously I'll be keeping a lot of it. Let's go back into here a sec. So I'll delete, hide them. It's gone horrible again. So that's probably something to do with it. Top right. Well that's definitely not supposed to be times 8, yeah. Neither is that. What an idiot I am. It's these that are times 8. Okay, that's good. That's exactly as it should look really, because the attributes will take care of that and make it look like an actual wall. It'll match up to that, but we still need to draw that bottom segments. They don't seem to be appearing. I would switch back to the other stream view, make it a bit sleeker, but I'll probably be backing that up program. So that's still failing. That sure, it's just our draw code. It seems to be drawing 3. I've messed up that big long copy paste. What am I doing? Yeah. Damn that. I can maybe use that as a cheat here. I'll be careful though. I also want to delete that. What a pain. I'm going to have to mess about with finding the place here. I mean, the worst case scenario, it didn't take that long to write. It's not the end of the world. At least I found the problem quickly. But let me make sure I do that. Right. So this is so awkward to do in this app, but I think this will do it. We'll do ink HL, Control Enter. Right. One of the main problems you have with doing this is if there's white space after one of the comments and you don't notice it, you could end up with a real problem. Luckily we copy and pasted all this, so they should be identical every line. But this is a real good example of why you shouldn't be like me. You should check before you copy and paste something that many times that it's correct. Before I do this, I absolutely am going to be careful. See, I want to get rid of that ink BC as well, and then that's it. Luckily, I think I found a way. The place is nothing. Okay. Hopefully. Nope. Oh, all of them need to be 1 as well instead of 2. That gave an interesting effect. You could come up with something with that, I reckon. Okay, so I guess let's just be super obvious with it and just write. Why not? Just write the whole thing. Okay, please work. Hey, finally. That was a silly mistake. It cost us at least 10 minutes there. And it left us with all these horrible spaces, but hey, doesn't matter. Let's just load that level again. Forget all the colours. Everything's fine there. We'll draw the door frames in much the same way. I'm going to tailor it so that they actually bypass where the door is drawn. They just draw dush, 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 dush. That shouldn't be too difficult. But I'll do that later. I think I'm most concerned right now is trying to remember how to do the colour. I'm looking for paint BG, you know. That was it, and we've done it with tiles. IX. What was it pointing at before then? Oh, just the sprite data. So I think it's time to rewrite that entire bit of script, unfortunately, because that was kind of done to work with little tiles of 4 attribute cells at a time. It was a great piece of code that if you needed a tile background. Yes, most interesting. Can I butcher this to make it do what I want or not? I mean, it could be more straightforward than that. Much more straightforward. We'll leave it there for our own use in another day, because I'm sure we will want to draw the tile background. Like when I drew that them balls, they look pretty good. You know, we could have coloured them in with that routine. But let's just have paint BG, I guess. And all that has to do is, if I come back to this program, it is much better, isn't it? Let's just have, before I start that actually, let's just have a look at the size of a level now. Well, it's much smaller, isn't it? I mean, oh, it tells you. I keep trying to count it in my head, but it tells you here. It says 2 by 100, so that's only 256 bytes. So it's 512 bytes plus I think another 256 for that. So 700 and something bytes, and you get something like 32,000, don't you? So that's much better. In other words, like you said. Now we need the attribute memory. It's not going to take up much memory. Let's think about this now. We've got the grid. We can just literally go through this, can't we? The tile array, the color array is in a singular 1D array. We just turn this into a singular 1D array. Oh, I'm still selection. Shame you can't export just the attributes. I mean, it doesn't make any difference. I can easily delete them. I think there's no reason to have them laid out. There's no reason why not, I guess. Is it 24? It was, wasn't it? Alright, where do I want to put them? Down the bottom. How much data is that? 32. It's 24 by 24. So we are looking at about 1,300 bytes roughly for our data, our background now. And then we need to do a hallway as well. That might be bigger, might need a bit more detail. In the actual game, it has some different hallways, but we could live with just having one, I reckon. Just moving a bin and the door or something about a vending machine. So I need to stop looking at that and just remember that it's a 1D array. Stop thinking of it as a 2D array. It's all in order for us already, as far as I know. So paint BG. Do you remember I tried this and I only got a third of the way through the screen? I had some problem where the iterator couldn't be a 16-bit number for some reason. I mean, I can instantly think of a way around that, and that's just by having one iterator for the number of lines and one for the number of cells in a long a column. I started going astray when I started not commenting above every routine. Sometimes you think, oh, it's too obvious, no point, but then it messes you around. But the only other thing is if you do comment it, you have to remember to change it, because that can mess you up as well. If you change the code. I don't see why we can't have that as the. We already know how many there are as well. You have to do the whole lot, don't you? You can't just do the window. That's where ours is a problem. I see, yeah. That's a bit of a pain. That's why I've had to come up with that stupid other code. It's going to carry on into this part. I'd love to be able to copy that. Because I want to just resize this screen, but I don't think you can. I mean, I can think of another way around it. It's just do one line at a time and then skip down a line in our array. It's way more complicated though. If I'd have just took the UI colors into account here, I could have done it way more simple. Okay, excellent. I want to try and get rid of that, yeah. So then the UI can just have black paper and pink ink. That'll do for now. Have I just selected something? Oh, that's a shame. Oh, of course, that's going to want to fill with the ink as well. Weird. Alright, maybe I can just paint it with a pencil. Okay. Just checking. Oh, I can go over, okay. Oops. Alright, that's all I needed. Now I'll do the same thing. So it's going up in size still, our level. It's not small. It's like 1.5 megabytes, I think, is it? That's better. Not sure why it doesn't tell you the amount of lines in that on that one. I think I'll just write it just for the sake of it. And now if I want to change the UI, I can come over and easily change it. In fact, you could just search and replace for them, couldn't you? So now we can just iterate through. As far as I know, that would work, wouldn't it? And we just deck BC. Can you do deck BC? I have to look that up. It's so slow, my internet. Talk. Never use them. Look at this. I think my internet was faster like 15 years ago. Deck BC. It says it works there, so I'm going to trust that it does. Still need to compare though, is it? So as far as I can tell, just quickly, it's been a while since I've done these sort of ones, but that'll just keep decreasing by 1. Star Trek, yeah, I never got a chance. I watched a tiny bit of one yesterday, but like I say, I just forget it straight away. I still prefer the older ones right now. But I'm starting to warm to the new ones. I think I've watched about 7 new ones now, actually. Do you know the series very well, like what happens in all of them? Because I could tell you like where I'm at, but I can't remember much happening of massive interest yet. In fact, no, the one I'm watching right now is quite interesting. I'm halfway through it. It's where Data has found another robot, like, and he hasn't. They're just putting it back together, and then I had to go. So it's actually probably the most interesting thing yet. Quite looking forward to seeing that. I've got a feeling it's going to be an evil one, but you know, it's just a guess. I hope this works. I'm getting to the stage if it doesn't work. Well, I think it is going to work, but if it doesn't work, I'll redo the whole thing. You know, with the same sprites. Just start from scratch. Spiky too. Yeah, that's. I bet. Yeah, that's sort of like what I'm like with like the Simpsons or something. This is going to paint them all backwards, isn't it? Yeah, I'm fairly original so far. Oh, have I deleted the name? That's one second. I hope I haven't just declared that twice now. Is that 768? I think that's how much that is. Yeah. So if I try to do something really stupidly clever but unclever, couldn't I just point? I want to go backwards. Point to there plus 768. No, I should just go back to using my other trick, shouldn't I? Where when it gets to the top of the memory, forget all this BC rubbish. Oh, where did I declare all those constants? This is why I like having just one constants file, really. There it is. Might as well just go. It helps me think, being able to see the numbers. Not thinking very straight right now. I think we can just load HL with 5800 hex. Have, let's just say, DE pointing at the attributes. I think that's all you need to do. And then increment HL, increment DE. jump paint PG, and then we check beforehand. See, H and L are the ones that aren't reversed, I believe. You know, I was saying the other ones are reversed. It's either that or the other way around. But I think H will be 58. So load A with H. Compare attribute end of a byte. Return Z. So as long as DE is pointing at that pointer, I think that's going to work just like that. And it does need a return. Let's just abandon that code that was there before. It's done for. There's going to be a problem where our player is not going to get deleted, but let's deal with that when we get to it. Hopefully it just works. Oh no, it doesn't. Previously defined. God. Oh, I said that as well, didn't I? 5,800. This. What's that? God, what the hell did I put? I don't remember this. What the hell? Okay. Alright. Compile, please. No. Colors, line 38. Value expected, but D found. I thought you might not be able to do that as well. Damn it. It was just my stupid logic. Because you can't. They're 16-bit, and the content of HL is only 8-bit. It's weird like that. Should use A. Get the contents of DE. Of course. That should be fine. Come on, please work. Well, hey, we're back. We've got a door missing, which is absolutely normal. And as I say, now we have this problem where if we haven't got a sprite there to redraw over it, it's running super fast now. I think it's faster than before. I have to try to figure out how to slow it down. So how do we want to deal with that? Yeah, I'm pretty happy as well. It's worked. We've reduced it massively. We've took a big step back because I'm nowhere near going on to the transition of level 2 now. I'm back sorting out level 1, but that's not a big deal. I'm pretty sure I've got a day off tomorrow. Haha, yeah, it's speedy. They do look awesome. If only I could control them so they were only there for a little while. I'll switch back to other view, it'd be better actually. Well, hey. It's a way to make a busy crowd almost, isn't it? Like, quickly. Because imagine if you could change the sprite pointer as well randomly so it looked like different people sometimes. I love it. It feels really cool to play, that's the main thing. It moves quite nicely. Better than a lot of Spectrum games I've played, to be honest. Yeah, very true actually. Especially when you walk past the door and it flashes and that bit doesn't get trailed on. That's quite trippy. Brilliant, that's progress. The thing is, I want to think about how to do the delete of the sprite. I kind of like being able to just clear the whole screen. It was clearly coping with it, the processor, when we were doing it from the tiles. But I probably need to think about where he starts and finishes. Because we only need to clear that, or suppose that area. So that's the thing. Oh, you can't see it now, can you? Just realised that. We only need to clear this area here. So really, I guess I just want some constants to say where it starts and finishes again. It's not quite as simple as that. It'll be a constant for that, constant for that, and then how many of them. Yeah, so it's 24 and there's 28. I already know. Is that kind of rubbish now? I think it's not even needed. Clear area, I'll just call it for now. I'm just trying to think. XOR it. The problem is, let's load it again and visualize it. And I might be wrong, maybe you're dead right and I just can't, my brain hasn't coped with that concept yet, but there's absolutely no sprites there to XOR with, if you know. Do you see what I mean? Everything's 0 on the floor and never gets drawn. It's only colour. So my sprite is a pixel, if you know what I mean. So that's like going into the screen memory, so you could ignore the colours. I need to clear. We used to, when we first started. Yeah, I knew. Oh, okay. Of course, if we XOR'd it with the player, that would only. He'd have to walk back over it to clear it, I think. Plus we're already using that OR trick. But I might be wrong, maybe my brain just can't imagine it. Ooh, one more smoke. So what's left? Excuse me. We have to think about it in lines, don't we? With the pixels. It's going to be a pain in the arse to try and clear that box only. Oh, you can't see. I keep forgetting that you can't see. Let's pull it back. It would be a pain in the arse to only clear that, wouldn't it? In the screen memory. That's one hell of a calculation, I think, to figure out exactly what line you're on. I wonder in the double buffering. Wow, hang on. Let's experiment here. If I could cope with redrawing this every frame, yeah, which maybe isn't too bad. Couldn't we just do this, but have one that literally just fills it with zeros? See here, it loads it with stack pointer, pushes it to the memory, the correct place, and it's supposedly really quick. Now surely it's quicker just to... just add a little bit. It's probably going to get deleted. But clear game window. Okay, I read about that in that Jonathan Caldwell's book. He talks about that. I don't think he describes how to do it, unless I didn't read it carefully enough. But I've had this weird idea of just putting a stack pointer, caching it here again, like we do below. And then continually just push over and over again. Nah, that's going to mess up, innit? It's going to be complicated. But if I went to the top of the memory now, if I loaded the stack pointer to the very top of the video memory, and then I don't know, can you keep pushing zero somehow? There's got to be a better way. Forget the stack pointer then. Luckily, to clear it, we don't have to do it in any order. It can just go into any order. In fact, we can just do the same thing we just did with the paint background. pretty much. Except for that, I want to be 4000 instead. I know that's just exactly the same as writing vmemseg, but it's just more convenient, isn't it? I better check this. I don't know exactly where it ends. Five eight. I think that is correct. Just X or A. Hopefully that's quick enough, because that should just clear the screen. And the only drawback with that is I wanted to just do the central sort of grid. I'm having to draw that every frame now. And then I guess right at the start, and that wants me to load HL with vmem start. Damn. Oh, tile length. 165 with spiky. Do we even use tiles like that anymore? Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Are we using tiles? I didn't think we was. I think maybe the door. It's easier to put it back. Okay, good. Whoa! So clear screen needs to be done at a different time. I wonder what it looks like there. That's going to be a bit odd, but actually slightly better. Oh yeah, that might be good. Or even That's interesting, yeah, hang on. Oh, what have I done there? I've cleared the game window directly rather than the buffer. Let me have a think about that. Well, Nelly. I wonder why that happened as well. Double buffering. It just didn't get through it in time, did it, I think? Could try that, just out of interest. Same thing, crashing. Oh, very odd. I knew that was a bit too simple to, it was too lucky if that had worked. Oh, I mean, that wouldn't help. They're a pair. Why was I moving it around on its own? What an idiot, eh? Because it seemed to be a bit better, like, after the sync. Maybe I could go in the sink. In the sink. That's actually a good shout, though. So only if we're waiting we'll clear the screen. So we might get the odd glitch. That's what I'm hoping. Not at all. Interesting. And what if I put that to 3? It does call it now, but it still makes the glitch. Okay, so that's not going to work. And what I can try next is, instead of doing it here in the window, we need to do it in our buffer. So just delete that. This contains stuff about the buffer. Clear. I guess clear game window is actually alright. Mikie Snake Hybrid. I love it. Do you know what? I shouldn't have deleted that. Because this should just point at the buffer start. And then this should check buffer end. So game window. Perfect. Come on, work now. Maybe putting it in the sink would have been a good idea. It was still a good idea. I mean, Come on. It's pretty good. It's just not redrawing them other bits at the top and the sides. Just out of interest, I don't think this will work now. No. So that seems to be ineffectual when you put it onto 2. It does nothing. Seems you always just, it's because of the halt. Seems to be. Maybe we shouldn't even have that halt. I don't know. Let's get it out of there. Let's put it right at the start here. I think it can probably go down just before we draw it actually, but oops. Yes, it's looking good. There's some glitching going on in the UI there. Although, have you seen, that's actually in the spectrum though. It's happening on the left side as well. It's not in our UI, it's on the border. Interesting. Are we like peeking over the memory or something? I don't know. Much better, isn't it? Yeah. We've got there now. It's working smooth. I'd love to try and move that exit sign color as well. Looking good. Looking damn good. Just out of interest, if you take away the halt, and then if this doesn't work, I've got one more thing to try. Okay, so we have some glitching going on there. Quite a lot. But what about if I put the sync there instead? Well, I can't even move. Interesting. And what about if you have both sync? I was thinking you could have an early sync and a late and then change the amount of frames as well. Okay, slowed the game down considerably, but the glitching's gone. And now we haven't got any halt statements. So that's actually quite a good idea. I think if I'll copy that. Sync late end, sync late end, frame delay late. Let's try 2 on both of them now as well. We've got no halt. Oh, do you know what? Just to be safe, I'm not sure if we need to do one of them. It's got like 2 separate sort of clocks ticking away there now. Just wanted to try it out. That's glitchy. Still glitchy. Let's get rid of that. Just see what happens then. That's going to mess up completely. Well, I mean, it doesn't look glitchy now, but I mean, when you think about it, that shouldn't be able to change that one's previous frame count. But it seems to work. I think we reduced the frame rate by doing that though. It's most certainly playable though. It's brilliant. Not sure that's needed, but I'm going to leave it there as an option. Get rid of halt. Do you know what? It's getting a bit late for me. I think I'll just, rather than try and fix that, I'm going to sign out, I think. Because I'm suffering with a couple of little pains. It's getting late. I've got a day off tomorrow, so I'm hoping to do a load of coding during the day. Hopefully a very long session. But I'm getting too tired to start debugging that problem. I think I'll probably, by tomorrow, what I'll do is just not use that and rewrite my own method. Yeah, nice one, Moz. Soon goes by the 2 hours when you're streaming, but I want to watch a couple of TV shows before I fall asleep. Yeah, it's been a brilliant night again. We've made quite a lot of progress there. We look like we've gone backwards, but we have actually gone forwards because we've got loads of space now to make more levels. Loads. We could make sort of 20 different ones like that, couldn't we? As long as it was fit into that sort of structure, if you know what I mean. The hallway's going to be an interesting one because we've got like floorways. Do you know what I mean? But I'll figure it out. I'll have a long think about it. I'm going to make loads of progress tomorrow because I'm going to add the hallway and, you know, hopefully colour this sign and loads of other stuff. By the end of tomorrow, conceivably, it could look pretty goddamn close to completion. You know, obviously adding the AI is going to be hard as well. Even the stuff like where he throws his teeth at you, that's a really tough calculation to figure out. It's hard enough in Unity to do that, let alone in a Spectrum. But to calculate the angle, but I could do it pretty rudimentary. You know, if he's standing, if you're on his left, he just has to throw his teeth to the left and stuff like that. It doesn't have to be aimed directly at you. If you actually think about it, it's quite hard to aim it directly at you in the Spectrum because there's no floating point numbers or anything. But yeah, look out for it tomorrow if you're about. It probably won't be until the afternoon, but I'm hoping, if I'm not in any pain, 4 or 5 hour in one go session sort of thing. So thanks, man. Yeah, good night to you as well. Good night to everyone watching. I've had a load of new follows, so thank you to all of you. I did notice on YouTube I've had about 5 or 6 new followers. Good night, Gio. Nice to see you again, matey. See you all tomorrow, hopefully. I'll be on in less than 12 hours doing it all again. Hi, Fractal Mike. Yeah, for sure. Thanks for saying hi. Hopefully I'll see you. I'm going to do a long one so tomorrow, like I say, in the day and then at night as well. So I'm sure you'll catch some of it. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, guys. Speak to you then.